Hey everybody, it's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. Today I have with me a longtime Lansing friend, Mr. Chris Pruett, with the happiest homeless happiest homeless person inspirations. How you doing today, Chris?
I'm well, thank you, Jerry. How you doing?
Are you you're at the studio at the Fledge, right?
Yes, sir.
Um, how has everything been going with HHP Inspirations?
Well, since I announced I'm a nonprofit now. Things are really slowed down donation wise, but it's all working
Did
out.
Yeah. So,
We have a lot of plans.
so some people are gonna know you from Lansing for your signs and all that, and the art show. But there's gonna be people around the world that we are starting to broadcast to that don't know who you are. So why don't you tell us who you are and what you're doing, real quick?
Real quick.
Or no, as long as you want. As long as you want.
Well, to start off, I'm Chris Pruett. I was born in Highland Park, Michigan, part of Detroit, in 1958. Fatherless. We split. Mom got remarried. We moved to Grand Rapids when I was 10 years old. And that's where a lot of the problems came about that culminated in me becoming homeless here in Lansing. Moved here about 18 years ago, me with my little brother. The rest of the family is spread out, some in the state, some out of state. Mom has died, little brother has died. But in '09, in beginning of winter in '09, is when I got homeless first. I was divorced, second marriage, and got evicted from the house we were living in. I was survived there for a little while afterward, and got a painting business, and that went under. And wound up homeless in winter of '09, and wound up finding a job at a church. And I was there about 3.5 years between 10, 10 and beginning of 14. And that's when I went straight on the streets in like February of 14. And I don't know, from there, I started making my signs. I made big, huge homeless signs. Everybody's seen the panhandlers with signs. And it's tough out there to get stuff to survive, basic needs and things. And the signs is a good way to do it, but I wanted to do it differently than the other guys, trash all around them and drunk and plain old homeless, hungry, God bless sign. I made mine huge and started addressing social issues and homeless issues and societal issues and some just fun signs, but they still poked a little bit at the public and how society treats each other, not just homeless people. But every damn day, they're out there. You bring them something one day and you need to bring it again the next day. It's every damn day. And I wake up every morning wondering what I can do, to help alleviate and help change society's stereotypes and stigmas against homelessness. I've done multiple giveaways, and people bring a lot of stuff. But
It's a constant river of need, isn't it? I mean,
yeah. So
and especially. Oh, go ahead.
I try to bring some kind of different things, like bags full of snacks, instead of just the meal. But I'll try to have a burger with it, or pizza, or chicken wings. Try to make it a meal. And with the COVID going right now, I got to be really careful about health issues and handling and stuff. Try to make it as untouchable, least touched as possible. But yeah, it's just constant.
So, you and I have talked a lot. I guess we've known each other for a little over 2 years. Actually, on Facebook, it reminded us a few days ago that it was a 2-year anniversary of the show that you did at the Fledge, your sign art show. When I met you, you had been housed, but you were an advocate for the homeless. Is that right?
Well, yeah, even when I was making my signs when I was homeless and in my camp, I was I started doing that. I found out right away that if I asked for stuff for other people, because I go to the shelters and I go to the drop ins, and when people do that, and it's been going like that for about 6.5 years now. Of just bringing whatever I can, get people to bring movie passes. I've taken people to the movies a couple times.
So
Try to take them out to eat. That's a little hard to do, you know, cleanliness wise. But yeah, just trying to always find different things to do for the homeless.
yeah, so you and I had talked, a couple years ago about what you were doing and how it was, though there is that need and those snacks, and you make these happy snacks and you give out food constantly. The need is also, though, for self-esteem and for relationships and for kind of people finding a sense of purpose. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Like,
Well, what I thought about right there is that reclaiming their dignity. To get these services and stuff, yeah, you got to swallow some pride when you're trying to go to the shelters and everything. They want to bring you right down to bare bones so they can rebuild you. It seems like, some cases that's probably a good thing, but most not. It deters people from seeking their services. But dignity is a big thing.
yeah, one of my favorite events. So we've had a lot of events now, with you and I together. With you having them at the Fledge and me getting to enjoy a lot of great people that I've met, from little kids to people living out on the streets. Euchre, the Euchre Tournament. Tell us about that. Why would the homeless people care about a Euchre Tournament?
Well, one thing, it was cold out. It gave them a chance to come inside for a while, a few hours. But even like when I was homeless, try to play cards in a camp, where you're barely allowed to keep a bed in there and other things to survive, rather than having a table to play cards at. And it's something that homeless people miss out on, playing cards and euchre. So Martin Luther King Day was coming. There's a drop-in center, the only one that's really open during the days for people to come into. There's a couple, but that's one of the major ones, called Jim Ho. And they're closed on Martin Luther King Day. It's the only day of the year they're closed. So we had the chili eat-off in the Euchre Tournament. It was a good turnout. People had a lot of fun. They got a lot of stuff. They ate well.
That was a lot of fun. So I think James was my partner that day, and we were both disgusted with each other. We got to practice because we got our butts whooped. But I mean, that whole day was kind of the microcosm of how I've seen you operate in the last couple of years. You bring in absolutely anybody who wants to come, and that included homeless and non-homeless people, to get together, forget about homelessness for a little while, do something semi-normal, like at least normal in Michigan, to play euchre, and to create a relationship, to have conversations with, I guess just normal conversations during a normal thing, with normal people or whatever. I don't mean to say anybody's not normal, but I don't think that living in a camp is a definition of normality, right?
For those that do, it is, yeah, and it's where you're comfortable, and there's always something going on. Like being in my apartment, I'm bored to death most of the time, and need to be out. When you're out camping out, like when you go camping for 4th of July or Labor Day, you want to come home. No.
It's you've told me that so many times before, that there are people out there who they almost want to be out there. You've said that, right?
Some people, that's all they've known all their life. Maybe their parents were drug addicts and always strung out, so maybe they pop in the house now and then, but they were living on the streets. There's millions of people like that. Yeah,
Do you think there are people out there that are happy being homeless?
I
Or
was.
you've also, I know you were the happiest homeless person. You were the happiest of all.
That was happiest homeless person is happiest homeless person. Chris Pruett, Chris Pruett. And I dug it being out there, and that helped me with my AKA. you know, I'd be at the old outreach when Mark Bozo was still running it, still alive, and that's where actually the happiest homeless person was born, at the outreach, because I'd be up there and the guys would be out with their signs and they'd be coming in drunk and arguing and rabble rousing. And I had a laptop then, and I'd just be sitting around watching movies and playing games and listening to the antics, and just, why do people have the bad stigmas and stereotypes placed on them? Every aspect of society has people that screw it up for the rest of the ones that are in that group of people. And it's the same with homeless. There's homeless people that make all the rest of homeless people look bad. But that was my mission at the beginning, is to change people's perception of somebody on the corner just begging. I wanted to entertain. I wanted to send a message. 80 of my signs are with a fellow in Texas at Southern Methodist University. He does seminars and exhibits across the country with homeless signs he's bought. He did a 24-city tour across country a few years back, buying homeless signs in each city. I guess he's got almost close to 2,000 signs now. He exhibits them past 2 years at Art Prize in Grand Rapids. There wasn't one this year, COVID. But my signs get around.
Yeah. Except for I don't have one. Have I ever told you that?
Numerous times. He was
But
made that I didn't leave one from the sign show.
yep, I am. But I am going to. I did download the photo of the one from your website. So hhpinspirations.org is your new website, and I'm going to use that as the thumbnail for this video, so people can get a view of one of your signs. Plus, this website will be in the comments or the description for everyone to see too. And you just recently became a 501c3. You alluded to that in the beginning. Tell us a little bit about what the mission of that 501c3 is.
Oh, so many things. When I wrote the mission statement, they said it was too long. But there's so many different aspects and dynamics that need to be addressed that some entities already claim to be doing, but aren't. And so we want to focus on those things. And that's what Happiest Homeless Person always was trying to do from the beginning, to fill the gaps of the other advocacy groups and other entities, that there's just so much you have to do to help a homeless person if you really want to get them off the street. And part of that is dignity building and just showing them they're worth these special little things like chicken wings and pizza, big bags of snacks. They're worth it. People spend a lot of money on this stuff. The other thing too is about sharing conversations with them. Whenever I go out, I sit with them. I sit and talk to them. We have some laughs. I got a cigarette I can give them to do. Just make them feel like a person. Somebody that.
Do you think that cigarette's important? Is it important for a homeless person to have a cigarette?
Yeah.
You and I have talked about this before too, where people will look down at homeless people because maybe they have a beer or maybe they have a cigarette or maybe they're, they want to do something that other people might judge as not a productive thing to get them from being unhomeless. But we've always talked about that dignity. You said it a little bit ago. It's important that people feel real, right?
Yes, sir. And no matter what their little vices are, or big vices, the big ones are harder to get around, but a little vice, a cigarette. And people say a lot, I'm not giving them money, they're just going to buy booze or cigarettes. If you're giving it from your heart and from some kind of direction from some higher power, then that's all you need to worry about. Because then They're adults. Everybody's an adult. We're all adults, and
Yeah.
we're allowed to have a beer. Allowed to
Yeah,
smoke a
I
cigarette.
think that's an important part of your mission. I've always appreciated that about you. So, talking about your mission, what's something that you've been doing every damn day to push that mission forward or to move towards that mission or to fulfill that mission?
To stay focused and not give up, and you know, just try to think of different ways to cope with the stereotype society has on homeless people, whether through a poem or through a new sign. I haven't been making many of those lately, but I feel like getting back to that.
Yeah. Can you recall a sign or a poem that you might want to recite for us right now?
I made this one sign. It was like during I got the idea during comeback week out at MSU, and the sheriffs have their horses out there, and Michigan State Police and DeWitt Police and Lansing Police and East Lansing Police and Meridian Police, all these police agencies, and so much going on. But I painted this one cardboard all red, and the poem went, "Happiest homeless person says, beer, wine, liquor, booze. The city needs it for revenues. Cameras, cops, and horses too. The OCNI is watching you. Writing tickets, going to court. To them, it's just a sport. So around the country and across the nation, they're waiting to bring it in the station." And that's pretty much a homeless story there, because there's so much evil eye put on homeless people.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that poem with us. So yesterday, Claude with Claude Designs was on the show,
Yeah.
and I told him about you, and he knew who you were because your signs made you famous at some point, at least Lansing famous, and he has a question for you, and his question was, I think, is very much like what I just asked you with the mission. What once you're past the stigma, what's the next? What's the bigger thing? What's bigger than homelessness to you? What's bigger than the stigma of homelessness? Yeah, what's your bigger mission?
Well, to once make it past the stigmas and the stereotypes, then there has to be more acceptance for other programs to scaffold people out of homelessness. Right? We start giving them back their dignity by helping them pick up the trash at their camp, and making sure they look nice and have clean clothes. But beyond that, and building on it, is to get people rehabbed off the streets, the job, volunteer programs to get the things they need to achieve those and scaffold up and build themselves up. What good does it do to give somebody back their dignity if there's nothing else to go beyond it? It's just like all the people that they've been housing over the past few years. They give them housing, but there's no job opportunities for them. And so they're back out on the street, panhandling, doing whatever they did before. Not really given that full chance to either reintegrate into society or to initially integrate into society. There's some of these people that, they probably never had a job. I know there's kids coming out of prison, that probably in their late teens for some drug offense, and they have no job skills. And try to push that, try to get them trained, and money behind that. And porta johns for the homeless.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things it seems like the cities or the government or even us, that we could do that would help tremendously. I mean, like you talked about porta johns, and talk about the tickets you get when you don't have a porta john, or
It gets them tied up going to jail all the time. You get a ticket for public urination, you can't pay it. Next time they see you, they know the guy's names, and they just look him up. Did he clear up the last ticket? Off to jail. It's an endless cycle, and if you want people to do better and get more involved in society, become productive members. Those are things, you know, what the city doesn't even think I'm worth a bathroom to pee in.
Yeah.
What kind of incentive does that give anybody to do anything?
Well, it certainly seems like a trap, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I mean, and it doesn't make sense. When you step back, when you talk to someone like you and see what you're trying to do, and you meet the people, you know that, you know, you're sitting at a euchre table talking to people. You're not thinking that they're homeless. You're thinking that, you know, they've got, yeah, you want to beat them. Exactly right. But you know, people. I mean, people are born homeless. I don't want to say it like that, but they weren't born to be homeless. Not, you know, it's not like they have some genetic malfunction thing. You know, it's us. It's the social ills that we placed upon them, that we've done to them, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm just a product of our society. Yeah, you know, I could have been retiring from somewhere by now, but that's not in my foreseeable future because, you know, I've had jobs on and off. One year I had 12 W-2s, just bouncing around, you know, in the addiction and alcoholism, stuff like that, and just, you know, escaping everything because that's what I learned. I didn't learn to have a job and a 50-year marriage.
Yeah. So
I'm not geared for this world. I need to be riding horseback somewhere.
well, we're here to build another world, a better world. So
Indeed.
You don't have to be here for this world, or this world for, yeah, built for this world is what I'm trying to say.
Supposed to be in it, not of it.
Yeah. So tomorrow, I've got our friend Nick Leidorf, who's a lawyer and a comedian.
Yeah.
He's coming on the show, and just like Claude asked you a question, what question are you going to ask Nick?
Well, I'd have to probably ask him if his profession as a lawyer gives him endless material for his profession as a comedian.
He's gonna like that question because yeah, it does give him endless yeah. So
we'll get
now
we'll get a skip out of him.
You gave me a little challenge here because now I got to flip that question on you. So I guess with you, what would I say? So working as a homeless advocate right now, does that give you endless material for your signs and your poetry?
Absolutely. I've got one in my head right now. It's going to be titled World War Me. And it's going to be, it'll be what it is when it gets done. But absolutely, that's where I got most of my stuff. I'd be outside a Lugnuts game, and the lady, "You're not homeless. Why do you say it? You're dressed too nice." Well, excuse me, you know. So then I made a sign addressing that, you know, sorry, I look so nice and not upholding your stereotypes. But what, you want me to get a job, but you want me to look like a slob? What? But yeah, that's where most of my signs came from.
So are you going to drop a draft of World War Me?
It's all in my head right now. I haven't figured it out yet.
Is that related to that painting you want to do too?
Not really. Well, yeah, you know, that one, yeah. I got a couple.
The one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the big one?
Yeah.
And Chris and I got some things we want to work on.
James beat me to the big picture.
Yeah.
I want to find that side. I think I better do this before Christmas. No,
he hasn't been here in like a month. We can just paint over it.
Yeah, right. He loves that. I wouldn't want to bring that temper out of him.
Yeah.
But there's that one sign, yeah. World War Me. I can.
Well,
the lines will be exploding out of the middle of it.
Well, I look forward to seeing that, and I also look forward to working with you as much as I can support you with what I have here, with our future events, with maybe another sign show someday, helping to continue to get the 501c3 off the ground, People can help out by going to hhpinspirations.org and donating and understanding your story, finding you on Facebook.
And
Right?
if you want to see more of what I do, go to my Facebook page, Chris Pruett. That's where I do most of my posting and stuff. The website just got going. They're adding more to it. My friends want to get the mission statement on there. And probably I want to segregate the donations, like donations for food, donations for birthday parties for the homeless, donations for this and donations for that. And so the money can be used for what the person donating wants it to be used for.
All right. So I'm going to just talk about something, some little business I have to talk about real quick. Please subscribe to the Fledge's YouTube channel. Remember that we do 99 Problems, but a Pitch Ain't One every week. This week it's Friday at 9 a.m. And Every Damn Day airs every damn day at 2 p.m. So, Chris, you won 99 Problems, but a Pitch Ain't One, didn't you?
Yes, sir. 2 Fridays ago.
And you're going to come...
this Friday.
Yeah, I like your pitch. I like where you're going. I like that you help out, or that you did that 99 Problems. And thanks for being on Every Damn Day. Is there anything you want to take us out with? Any thought?
Expanding on what HHP does. Yeah, we do a lot for homeless people, but we also focus on children and getting them things, and bringing them special parties here to the pledge. The next one's coming up. It's going to be 2 days. I have a little friend that's been collecting Halloween costumes to come and give away to the less fortunate. And she was contacted by another organization, and they're going to be bringing over 1,000 costumes on Friday, October 30th, to the pledge from like 5:30 to 7:30 or 8. And also trying, when I bring the happy stacks of food to people, I always try to get burgers or something. I'm trying to cut out corporate things like that, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell. I'm trying to get all local businesses to support these, either with a donation or a discount on the food that I will be getting to have an event.
Yeah. And I thank you for that, Chris. I have to just give you some kudos real quick, and then we'll go out. I always appreciated that you're doing that, because I've never looked at you as, like, even with or without your 501c3, you're not a charity. Your group is not a charity. Your group is an investment in the community, and all you local businesses that aren't helping to invest in this community, you need to start helping. It's time to step up. We don't need to buy our future from the East Coast and the West Coast. Help us strengthen our community, build our future right here, and help Chris Pruett help others, help us, help do things.
Every damn day, I don't buy something from Amazon.
That's spectacular. All right. So thank you very much, Chris. You're an inspiration for sure. I will talk to you later.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Jerry.
Bye-bye.